while screencasting, please feel free to ask me in either of the comments here on Omelette YouTube or here on stream, and I'd be glad to show you here. As you can see on the screen, how I'm live streaming, and figured out some cool ways, and there's many folks who are looking for a way to do that stream. So please, thumbs up for the likes, share, tell everybody Vibes is live, and give it a minute or two while we wait for folks to show on up.
There's a new victim of identity fraud every 2 seconds. 1 in 4 people have already experienced it, and $16 billion was stolen.
As you can see, this is done in 3D Globe, one of the best earthquake forecasting around app. If you're interested in purchasing this kind of app, I can leave you guys some links and send you those. This is just as good as the Walton.net edition, but this is the Android edition. You can use this on any Android device.
LifeLock's proprietary technology scans hundreds of millions of transactions.
So while we get prepared here,
To your identity. If you're a member,
I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the West Coast real quick.
and unlike free credit monitoring,
And boy, oh boy, let me tell you what.
it's a wide range of identity.
When I came home, now I did not know about this. I've been out running errands, and this is just shocking, you guys. It was unexpected. I don't think anybody, not even Dutch Sense, I don't think anyone expected this magnitude size of earthquake to strike, and especially to strike Mexico next door to California. Mind you, you have the San Andreas fault line, you have the Cascadia fault line, and plus you have all the other fault lines running through California into Oregon and then throughout Washington. I mean, you guys, this is just started. This was just a few hours ago that this 8.1, quote, originally an 8.3. This is close to a 9.0 magnitude. California couldn't even handle, in my beliefs, you guys. I could be wrong, but take this as an estimate. I don't think California would be able to handle an 8.4 on the Richter scale magnitude, especially depending how shallow that earthquake was. Now, I have not yet checked to see how shallow this 8.1 that they listed down to. So we're going to find out here in a minute. Again, still waiting for more people to show up. Those of you who are watching, thanks again, you guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, you can even view me on YouTube as well. And again, Omelette in here on stream. So glad I was able to do a multi-stream here on just one device. It really helped a lot. But again, this is really gnarly stuff, and it ain't no joke. Many of you, to some folks out there who are not really into this kind of thing, a lot of people don't even know what this world's going through every single day. And it's not just earthquakes, many other things. So you can see here, this is pretty much 24 hours of seismic activity all the way up to the most current earthquakes right now that you're looking at. Alaska, flooded with earthquakes. California, Oklahoma, Montana, all the way cutting on through, going towards the East Coast, is flooded with earthquakes. Earthquakes in India. Good question. You know what? We could take a cruise on through now. I know up in India, see here. The spooky thing with everything going on. Now, we have Indonesia getting hit. Once in a blue moon, we see India getting hit. I actually have a buddy who lives out there in India. Thanks for asking me that. I have a buddy who does live in India, and he always tells me, hey, Nate, keep me up to date with earthquakes if we get any. Now, once in a blue moon, no, hey, Sebastian, you're welcome. Much love. I appreciate you joining the live stream. It's been a bit since I've done a live stream and really been wanting to get back into it. Just been so busy. And so this is something that you'll see every day. I don't do just earthquakes. I do all kinds of other really interesting, cool topics. Even gaming. I'm trying to get back into the gaming just so everyone can enjoy a good time. And I do live movie stream. And so that's on the weekends. I do movies every weekend, and that's going to be coming back again here on stream and YouTube and Omelette here. And so And if you got any content, hey, let me know, because I'll even hook you guys up. I'll even put your streams on my website. I have a website, esearchy.com. And those who have good content, yeah, hey, thank you so much. No problem, Sebastian. Shoot. But definitely I'm willing to help promote people out, and just kind of spread the words. And but again, India, as far as India, you can see here. Now, the quake that is near India, well, actually, yeah, it's in the heart of India. Take a look. This is actually 27 kilometers south of Tura, India. Now, I don't know where exactly you're at in India, but here it is. And it's not just one earthquake. It's actually a couple of earthquakes. Looks like they're striking. Here it is, a 4.1. And here's the funny thing. Usually the 4s are listed in a red zone. So I'm kind of surprised that it's not in a red zone marked. But a 4.1 magnitude struck in India, just 27 kilometers south of Tura. And this quake was only 36.67 kilometers deep. So that is pretty... Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Pleasure to meet you. Okay. You get a chance, tell your husband if he gets time, tell him to come and join us. 4.1 magnitude. And that was only 36 kilometers in depth. So it is kind of shallow. But here's the other part, which even gets crazy. I don't never see India get so many earthquakes. And like my buddy was saying, he always tells me, he lives out here now, but he visits his family like multiple times a year. He goes back home and visits his family out there, and really nice friend. And here we have this area with the Meghalaya, India region, if I pronounced that properly. And it is. We're looking at another 4.1 magnitude earthquake. Actually. Let me go back here. Whoops, my globe got messed up. Cruise back on over. Bear with me. Okay, I'm going to zoom on back in again. So here's the exact area of that 4.1 that struck here. This is what I like about this. There was another software that I use. It's by Walton.net. You could download it for yourself as well. If you want to download it for you and your husband, you certainly can. You could get a free download for your computer if you go to Earthquake 3D on Google, and you'll find Walton Edition, and it is free for the free version. Really cool. This app here, what I like about this one is because you're getting full live satellite footage, and this is just so amazing because of the view. But you can see exactly how close we're getting, exactly the detail. So there's that quake, the main one out there in India. And then of course we have this one, which was a super shallow earthquake, you guys. This is only 10 kilometers deep, and that was a 4.1. So could there be a possibility for more earthquakes to flood out through Indonesia? Well, the way how things are looking, there is a good possibility for the next few days. Definitely keep your eyes open, you guys, because there is a possibility of multiple 3.5 and again up to a 4.0 to this 4.1 magnitude quake. The reason why I say that, every time when an earthquake, and this goes for any area, it doesn't have to be fault lines, it could be a completely solid ground mass. And when you receive an earthquake within a 4 magnitude minimum is enough to trigger for coming earthquakes, whether if it's in the next few hours or the coming week or 2 weeks. It just depends what happens, and then especially if it triggers a hot zone. And what I mean by hot zone is where there's a weak spot in the Earth's crust, and when it hits that area, it triggers so much. And there is, you know what, you're right, there is going to be so many earthquakes. But honestly, for you guys out there in India, my opinion, I mean, there will be a bunch of earthquakes. And I've only been doing earthquake forecasting for 2 years, and I've actually, you're gonna laugh, you might find this funny. I've actually had folks who are professional who have been doing this kind of work for 10 years and 8 years, and some folks just kind of really didn't believe that I would be able to basically be on the level that they're at. I just have that naturalness in me. I love doing this. I do this for a hobby for everybody. I love to keep an eye out for earthquakes and I do this daily on YouTube, but shockingly, because I got messages from those who do earthquake forecasts. Dutch Sense, he's on YouTube. He does earthquakes. And there's a few others who have been doing this for years. And they could not believe the fact how I was able to predict what was coming for a certain amount of earthquakes. And sometimes it even kind of gave me goosebumps just because I would say, hey, this was a 6.0 magnitude. There's going to be multiple magnitudes in the next few hours or tomorrow, and the next, you know what, bam, there's so many earthquakes. So when it comes to me forecasting, I always make sure that you all get accurate information, and if I couldn't basically give you an accuracy of a week or 2 weeks worth, I certainly would not do that. Say that, hey, this is going to happen, but it don't happen. I like to make it 100% accurate as possible, you guys. And so there's some things I'm still learning on, but definitely I'm definitely your source to go to for earthquakes. Now here's the big part. I'm here in the US. I'm out here in Arizona. This is my home over here. Now, once in a blue moon, Arizona gets earthquakes, and we haven't seen any for quite a while. Thank goodness. But again, Arizona is, guess what, next door to my old home. I used to live in California, born, and take a look at the activity in California. California is getting hit pretty well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 earthquakes along the west coast, and then take a look at Oklahoma. Oklahoma always gets earthquakes. So for you guys out there, like, for instance, like, oh, it is. You know what? You are so right about that because of what's going on. Like, this is just so crazy stuff. And the way how the world is today, and I'm pretty sure you know it, many others know it, but of course there's so many people who just don't even pay attention. Sometimes I ask myself, I wonder why is it now people are busy trying to make money. People are busy trying to take care of their family, their kids, you know, and I understand that, but you will not believe how many people do not know what's going on. There's so much stuff happening in the world that it just overwhelms me, you know, and it's crazy. The world has changed so much, and it just, me being young, I'm a youngster, and it blows me away with everything I see, and it's spooky. It does. Some things, it gets really scary. You hear people talk about Fukushima. That's another one that's really, really scary. And it's sad to see the fact that knowing... Yes, exactly. And I believe you in that. I've had a lot of people who kind of got upset with me because bringing up the word God. And it's crazy. Now, rather, to me, I mean, it is. You're so right. See, I love meeting folks like you. This is why I like to be close to people like you, you know, because everyone understands, everyone sees what's happening, and you are so right about this. Like, for example, last month, there was a live stream that I did, and somebody brought up the word God, and then we got into the subject. Suddenly, things kind of went on a backfire and went the wrong road, and a few people were upset, but of course there were different religions. And see, coming from my kind of religion, I don't even claim a religion no more, because how it created, and it's like I go with everyone's religions. Everyone has a great right to go and believe and be focused on each of their own religion. Hey, we're all human, but we are all equal. And when people talk to me about religions, I like to listen. I don't get mad because it's a different religion. I love to be able to speak to people who understand and can talk about it. But I actually had a couple people, believe it or not, who got mad because I was bringing up the word gods. But I mean, the way I believe in it, in a respectful way, and one God created us all, created this world, but the one God provided all of our religions for everybody, for our own unique kinds, in my respectful belief. And so what I did, I stopped claiming just the religion thing, and I figured, you know what, hey, God is my religion. That's how I put it. And so when people ask, hey, what religion are you? Well, I tell them God's my religion. He's the creator. And like you were saying, as long as you have the belief, you have the faith, that's all that matters, you know. But it is spooky what's going on around the world, you guys. It really is creepy. It's like when I came home, Father told me about the earthquake. I did not know. I didn't even get updated on my phone, so I looked it up, and sure enough, they don't. You're right. A lot of people don't even know about the Bible prophecy stuff. Here's what's crazy. I want to ask you this quick question. I want to see what you think about this, because nobody has been able to actually answer my question. Believe it or not, and I only brought this up a couple times. Here's the crazy thing. Do you think that this world could have gone down a different path than the path that the world is in right now? Now, this is why I ask. This is a question I don't think nobody has ever asked before. This is a new question. So that was the first question. Now in the Bibles, every single Bible in all religions are so identical. Only very little differences, but when it comes to the prophecies, they are all the exact same. They all say the same thing of the future, what's coming, and all this stuff. Now, the craziest part, everything that has been predicted has happened. So everything in the Bible that was stated, which has happened and it is happening now, if the creator who created all this, if the creator wouldn't have predicted the path of this world, do you think the world would be or could have gone a better path and been a better world for all of us together? That's a question I ask a lot of people, and nobody has answered that. But it's crazy because everything is like pre-predicted. It's hard to explain. I'll come up with a better way to really explain this, and I'll do this on a live stream next time, and that'll be a topic we'll get into. Oh, you know what? Exactly right. That's totally right about that. There's still a few things I have to look into, and just because there's so much information, and it is so overwhelming with how much information that there is out there, and I think that we are all still learning every single day. I always find something new. There's just always something new coming up, whether if it's the prophecies and just everything in general. It's insane. You're right. Dominion, yes. There was a show here, believe it or not, now that you brought that topic up. There was a show It was called Dominion. It was a really weird show. It was really weird show. They don't show it no more, but they did have series. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. But it kind of had to do with something like that. But crazy stuff. Now the craziest thing, how come we don't see nothing about good things no more? You know, like if you notice, everything you see on TV shows, movies, whether if you're going to the store, just everywhere in general, we're starting to see more hate. We're starting to see more on the opposite side of good. And I am not kidding. Just coming from me personally, my own personal experiences with people, there is a lot of good people. There's still a lot of us good folks out here in this world, all over the place. But the sad thing is, a lot of us end up in the bad situations because whether if you go to the store or somewhere and someone just makes your day bad because their negativity or just it could be any situation. And it seems like when you smile, I've had people ask me, why am I smiling? Or just the craziest thing. It's just nuts. I can't believe it, and just I know the times are hard. I know people are struggling. And there's people in worse situations. But you know what? Not times as bad as they are, I always tell myself, and I've told people, it does not keep a smile away from you. It does not keep you from you being happy. And it does. If somebody hates that smile or somebody hates you being happy, the more that you smile back, it just eats their heart inside because they can't get into you. And they're so miserable, they're so negative, so hateful, but it gets them because you're the stronger person. And I had to learn to just continue to do that. And believe me, I wish I could record footage when I'm out in the roads. When I go places, I'm not kidding. I've had this incident a few times. What are you smiling at? It's like, well, I just spent my last $5 on gas. I'm broke. I'm struggling. It's just crazy. Oh, I know. You're truly right about that with what you said. They do. Exactly. Exactly. You are so right. And it is. They try to just take they try to take that goodness out of you. They want, those kind of people want everyone to feel just real bad. And always, like, here's a great example. Somebody I know, okay? He's a young man. He's got a girlfriend. And they've been dating for, I believe, 3 or 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he became not the man that I used to know, and it's sad, because in his heart, he's still a good man. But sadly, that heart has been chained up and taking pretty much out of his soul, you could say. Exactly, draining your life force. Yes, thank you. That was the best way to put that. And that's what's happened to him. He's dating this girl, and I'm a type of person I can feel people's energy almost. I can feel their vibes, and it's like, yes, exactly. Like, here's the thing, today the way the world is, it does. You're so right. Like, look at the way the world is now. I've never seen so much hate in my life. I'm 30 years old. I'm still young, but I sure have learned a lot growing up. Just because, many of us, when we're born into this world, one, we have a gift. Everybody has a gift. If someone told me, hey, I can't do it, I give them ambition. I tell them you can do it. If you don't know how to do it, then I'm going to teach you how to do it. Like, that's how it should be. And the sad part, when you hear all the hate, whether if it's people out here, even in my country, you will not believe how much stuff happens out here in this United States. It is just nuts. And I know It is crazy everywhere around the world. We all of us, every single one of us have a bad part somewhere in our areas. And what sometimes I ask myself, and I would even ask a couple people, and they just say, I don't know. But I would ask people, how come there is so much hate against other people? You know, rather because if they're a different religion, or if they're different than you, or different than me, or because they're different color, like, it blows me away shockingly because it should not be that way. I think it should have been another way where everybody is almost like family in a way. Treat it like family. That's how I believe in that. I don't care if you were Chinese, like, it does. It does, Sherry. Like, it just gets me, you know? Like, I know a lot of Oriental people, and like I said, I have a friend out there who he lives here, but he goes back and forth a lot back home to India, you know, and he is an awesome guy. Like, he's fun. I mean, it just, every race is a wonderful race. We're all human. We all have a heart. It would just, you know, we're all brothers and sisters. Put it that way. And it's just sad because a lot of people, it's sad because a lot of people don't look at it that way. And it's like, wow. It just seems like it's continuing to evolve more and more and more. But like people like you and me, I don't think any of that goodness could be taken away, you know. And there's so much that I have to learn, you know. And if I had an opportunity to travel to multiple different countries, if I was able to do that, I would love to, because there's so much to just know. There's so many great people to meet. And you know, I met you folks here live. Hey, I'm pretty sure one of these days I'm going to be live streaming, and you folks might have a cool topic, or you might have something cool to tell me that I don't know about. I mean, it just, everybody should just be loved. That's the way I put it. And it is Satan's trickster. Holy cow. Yeah, you're totally right. That is super true. I really do. You know what? I want to thank you guys again for joining the live stream. I do appreciate it. And feel free anytime. You guys can contact me anytime if you got questions. I'm going to be trying to do the live stream every single day, possibly even earlier. I started late, but I wanted to get this earthquake stuff going in. Take a look at Mexico. This is since the 8.1, but here's what's crazy. None of us expected this to happen. I did not expect this earthquake and this big magnitude range to occur. Not even that sense. A lot of earthquake forecasters didn't. Since this 8.1 had struck, take a look. Now, it struck along Earth's tectonic plate system, which is not good. Now it's been dropped down to an 8.0 magnitude earthquake. This was somewhat fairly shallow, and because it was an 8.0, and you can see here they just lowered it. Before I got it live streaming here, it was at a 8.1. And then before I started to show all this, now I see it at a 8.0. They dropped it down now. But that's just how it goes, you guys. Those who do not yet know, you have the USGS, and there's many others who give us this data. But for some reason, a lot of us don't even get the accurate exact numbers. And there's another source, you could check them out. He sure is. You're so right. With this 8 magnitude, it was originally an 8.3. That was almost half of close to a 9.0 magnitude earthquake. This is where it's gonna get crazy, and I'm gotta keep an eye out for the next coming few days, because definitely concerned for the west coast throughout California. And I know, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, well, it was an 8.3. We're gonna go ahead and drop it to an 8.1. Oh, wait, how about we drop it to an 8.0? Do you guys feel better? You know, like, It's just crazy, you guys. It's nuts. But yeah, it was an 8.3 magnitude. Following by that earthquake, look at this. It's not over. 5.3 magnitude right here. Following by another, we have a 5.2 magnitude earthquake. I mean, holy cow. You know, I mean, here it is again. Now we got 4.5s. We have a 5.4, almost a 6.0 magnitude earthquake. And those are in the red zones. And the rest of these earthquakes that you see in the yellow, they're all within a 4 up to a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. But look how, here's the craziest thing. Look how many earthquakes had struck. So it's not just an aftershock, it is a domino effect. And what I mean by the domino effect, exactly. You said it exactly right. What I mean by the domino effect is the spread. So this 8.1 had struck right here, okay? But then it spread out because of the tectonic plate system. There's a lot of weak spots around through here. And so it's starting to continue and shred all out through here. Now, I need to find out if there's a possibility if it could have shifted the floor's ocean grounds. And that is highly possible. There was so much damage in Mexico. I don't know if there was any lives lost, but look how far out it struck. It struck from here in the ocean coast, not on land. And mind you, everybody from here all the way on through all these areas, there was so much damage is done. And I'm going to be live streaming this tomorrow too. I got to do some research tonight. I cross my fingers and hope people did not lose their lives. I mean, this was a very devastating earthquake. Here's where it's really going to get crazy. Now it's spreading into here. It's spreading on the inland. And this was just not long ago. And you can see it's pretty much out there and by itself. But again, this is because of the earthquake that struck with that magnitude. The craziest thing, here it is more. Another spread. Look at this section. And they're getting swamped with earthquakes. And you can see the little fault line running on through. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 earthquakes right here, you guys. So, here was the main part of the live stream that I wanted to update you. Take a look at the West Coast. Take a look here. That is one thing I want to get into. Sherry, I want to even get into the solar flares. That one, there's so much content, and sometimes it's hard for me to do multiple different types of content. And it's a lot of work trying to bring everything, but I've been wanting to do this. You know what? I tell you what, tomorrow we'll go ahead and do a live stream for the solar flares because yes, Arizona has been so hot and it's been hot all over the world. Even in India had breaking heat records I've never seen ever in my life. All over the world had breaking heat records. And with these solar flares starting up the way they are, we are so close to the sun, and there are more building up. Actually, matter of fact, from Suspicious Observers, if you guys haven't checked him out, he's on YouTube. I follow him, big supporter of Suspicious Observers. Got a great YouTube channel, and he does the actual space weather forecasting. Really awesome guy. You guys would love him so much. You should go check his channel out too. And he does usually, I get all of his updates. And every time something comes new, I get an update from Suspicious Observers. And he's actually within the valley here where I'm at. Really great channel. But yes, he does keep an eye out 24/7. Yes, you know what? You're right about that. You're so right about that. Here's what's crazy. Because God flooded the earth once. But it is stated that God will finish the earth in fire. It's kind of scary just thinking about it. Even giving me goosebumps. But this is what I wonder. what is going to be the fire? Could it be the sun? Or could it be something in the Earth's core? Or could the fire be caused from a sad but the route we're going with this road, with people wanting to create so much power and weaponry, could that be the fire of nuclear weapons, which I wish was never created? Wormwood, yeah, you're right. I think that was the worst creation ever for all of us. I don't think that ever should have been created. I think it was a wrong decision, but sadly, because of those kind of people who create that kind of power, they're the ones that are creating all the hate, and they're the ones putting all of us in the situations that we see today. It is nuts. You guys, there's so much for me to talk about for all of you. It's going to be a really interesting, wonderful week doing the live streams. So with these earthquakes for California, nothing yet big has struck. This is a 2.66. We have a 2.63. And then also we have a 2.9. And then we have a 2.5. Here's my worries. You already remember about Fukushima. And my gosh, I tell you what, if you don't know already, well, you're going to find out now. 95% of the ocean life, and I'm talking dolphins, seahorses, starfish, you name it, is gone. I'm not kidding. And what is alive and is actually being born in the ocean, there's actually little creatures being born into this stuff, the radiation situation, that's all that there's left. And that's just so many people. I get people over here, wow, why are all the fish dying? We don't know what's going on. Or don't believe. Oh, wait, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's crazy. It is. It's scary. The reason why I brought up this Fukushima thing, because take a look here, okay? Between San Francisco and, of course, Los Angeles, I can't pinpoint exactly where. Tomorrow, I'll show you guys the nuclear power site. And this is my main concern. There is a nuclear power site plant somewhere along through this west coast. And I mean on the west coast. It is like on the edge, like over here, somewhere. And it's between there. Yeah, exactly. And then, well, here's the thing. Yes, Earth's core has been heating up. But what a lot of people don't know is the fact that's just not it. That's causing the death of these beautiful animals. Since 2011, which I mentioned when the day that this happened, this would be a catastrophic disaster that we would remember for the rest of our lives. And I told people then, this was in 2011. I even stopped talking about it because nobody believed me, okay? Nobody did. So I let it go. I stopped talking about it. And I told folks, this is going to kill off the ocean. And this is where we're going to pay the price on, because basically it was a nuclear war without the war. That's how devastating that this fallout is. That's how strong the nuclear radiation is. There is so much radiation levels so high and so extreme in the ocean. I mean, it is unbelievable. It is so unbelievable. I forgot, it was like 14 or 20 some trillion tons and more on top of that. I mean, it is so high. There's already been, I think, 20,000 people already in Japan had passed away because of the levels, and it's still going on in California. Believe it or not, along the west coast, all through here, they're already getting radiation signs. But Since 2011 all the way up to now, there's been so many die-offs. For example, in 2016, there, just in California, there was over 2.6 million fish that washed up ashore along the coast. And that was just California that year. Following by Alaska. Alaska had 1.7 million fish in 2016 wash up ashore. Florida had under a million fish in 2016 wash up ashore. So we're talking over almost 4 million fish just in those three areas. And then 2015, and then 2014, and then 2013, 12, and then 2011. But 2011, the numbers were just barely starting to climb up. You add all the millions and I mean, there's literally 95% is gone. It's just crazy. That'll be another topic. Yeah, exactly. And then more and more people around the world. I mean, this is the thing is, you add the earthquakes, you add the radiation. There is, oh my gosh, the list goes on. This is the way I put it. Imagine a plate of food. This is a good way to make you think about this. And it does. It makes you ask yourself. You have this plate of food, okay? And you have so much good food. And you just want to stack it on the food. And even, gosh, food sounds so good right now too, huh? Anyhow, you have your plate of food. How much food can you put on that plate? And how long can you hold that plate for without dropping it with one hand? So for example, say you put every single thing and you're putting it on top of food, on top of the rest of your food, because you don't want to get back up off your chair to have to go get more food. But then what happens after that plate falls with all that food on it? The plate's going to shatter because that plate can only handle so much. Maybe you were walking and it fell off just one hand. You were holding it with one hand, or that's just an example. But think of all that food on that plate as the earth. I like to kind of get like unique. I like to get different. I always explain things different than a lot of people who do this kind of topics like me. And it's a great way to think about it, because you put everything happening on this planet right now. How much more can this planet handle? And it's sad because the most beautiful thing ever created, the most beautiful thing given to us, everything. And the sad thing is to see children being born every single day, brought into this world the way it is today. And it is amazing. It's amazing to be gifted and be born and brought into this world. But you have so many young children who are just kids, just play with toys, having a good time. And of course they don't know what's going on. But think of all of them. And then there's so many kids being born with cancer. China. Okay, I haven't got the update just yet, but I will get an update here. I know Japan. Japan got whopped. Take a look at this. 6.1 magnitude earthquake. This is a big earthquake for Japan, and this is right within Shima, Japan. 6.1 magnitude. Okay, so 4.8. Let's take a look here. We're going to exit out of this real quick. I'll probably have to update this. It'll update here in a sec. Wait a second. Hold on. Okay, that was Mexico. Okay, so we'll get the update here shortly. It's probably taking a second. Let me see. It's probably going to take a second to get a quick update. But I will get updated with that format. Thank you for telling me that. Matter of fact, I should go on Google. There's a site here. You ever get time? Go check Chile with a 4.8. So things are like really lifting up. So this is definitely taking a little second to update. I'll get it here in a minute, probably more likely. This area I'm concerned about though. I'm concerned about Mexico. And the reason why, California has one of the most unstable and deadliest fault lines right now, but it doesn't stop there. It gets worse. The world's deadliest and most weakest tectonic plate zone, I'll show you real quick, is over here. From New Zealand coming up to Tonga Islands, Fiji, Puerto Villa, Vanuatu, Solomon Island, Papua New Guinea, and Indonesia, and then the Philippines. This is the most unstable tectonic plate zone throughout the rest of this world. If something mega was to happen to break this plate zone down, it would actually trigger this whole planet to just, gosh, I couldn't even imagine what would happen. And California, it's scary. But you have the new Madrid fault line, which is out to the east, going out towards into the east coast. You have the new Madrid fault line, and believe it or not, Arizona, we have one here too, and it's bigger than California. And surprisingly, it's not active. Out here in Arizona, this is where I'm at now. As far as Flagstaff, Arizona, coming south, all the way south. Oh, are you serious? Oh my God. Out in Arizona, there's a fault line, which I don't know how we're not getting earthquakes. I mean, if we were getting earthquakes, I probably wouldn't want to be here anyway. But this is what's spooky. And I don't think nobody knows. If they do, it's very few people. And when I found out, holy cow, let me tell you what I think about potting my pants after I found this one out. This fault line is so huge. It runs as far as Flagstaff, coming south towards Tucson, and then it goes out, making a huge left turn, going towards into Texas, and then in between, believe it or not, going towards, in between, cutting through the Oklahoma area, and then it runs into the New Madrid fault line. And it is all one piece. I'm not kidding. I will do this tomorrow too, and I'll show you guys. It is pretty scary. So if something happened to California or the New Madrid, either one of the two, it would trigger the fault line in Arizona ripping all the way out this far. I mean, this thing is massive. I never knew it existed. And when I found out, I could not believe it. And I looked it up. Sure enough, it's true. Very spooky. We will do that one tomorrow, my time. Currently, it is actually 4:20 a.m. And so tomorrow, or should I say today? Yeah, today. Today, my time, Arizona time. Exactly. I tell you what, it's bad enough. Look what happened to Texas. Texas got pretty wasted too. And then now, yeah, Lake Ontario, exactly. Florida supposedly is getting hit really bad. I haven't checked into the updates of Florida. I don't know if you looked into it, but Florida's pretty bad. The situation going on there is just nuts. It's overwhelming. And look what happened to Texas, and now it looked like the apocalypse hit Texas. I've never seen nothing like that. Nobody has. And then now we have Florida, I guess, is getting hammered with this tornado stuff. I mean, this hurricanes. It's just crazy, you guys. Like, what's next? You know, just so much. Now, with this huge earthquake, and it's going to be talked about for the next few days. Like, it is. You're going to hear it everywhere. You're going to hear people just continuing to talk about it, and they will be keeping you updated. This is my first update, and I'm catching up, and with this 8 magnitude. So, one thing, yes, exactly, I am. I'm going to be getting off here in the next couple of minutes. And, God, Sherry, all of you, it's such a pleasure meeting you guys. Really, I truly appreciate it. I hope you did enjoy this live stream. And I still, believe it or not, As much as a good time as I have been speaking to all of you, chatting and everything, I still didn't even get to do a full earthquake forecast. But we could catch up tomorrow. We go ahead. But you can see Alaska. Here's my prediction, okay, before I end this forecast live. For California, everyone keep an eye out. I'll keep you guys updated as well. Keep an eye out for a 5 to a 6.8 magnitude earthquake. And this is within the week to come. So we got a full week ahead of us. I know, where are these hurricanes coming from? That's what I don't get. Just suddenly, out of the woodworks, like out of the blue. First Texas gets hit. And then, bam, here comes her. When I saw Hurricane Irma, I could not believe. And the funny thing is, you hear the news channels and they're going, well, it's impossible for a 6 magnitude or a 6 category hurricane because there's never been a 6 category. We can't categorize a 6 category hurricane. I started laughing. I thought it was funny because I even thought that it would happen, that a 6 category. Well, guess what? Supposedly they're coming out saying that it's a 6 category hurricane. It's crazy. So again, yes, California is on a very, very high alert. So stay tuned in for tomorrow. Everyone, lots of love. This is Nathan here at IER Vibes, Info Entertainment Reviews. Love you all. Thank you guys so much for having a great time. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. Definitely hope to hear from you later on. Keep an eye out for me around my time, Arizona time. I'll probably be starting a live stream about 9 o'clock p.m. and going into probably about a 2 or 3 hour live stream and hang out. And then also don't forget, on the coming weekend, as I was saying, I'm going to be doing movie streams. I'm going to be doing that again live, and that's going to be pretty cool. So on movie nights, you guys ever want to have a movie of your choice, please let me know, because I'll take down your request, and on the weekends I will play those movies for you at request. And so something I always did before, and there was a lot of people who really missed it. I used to do this on younow.com, and when I left, everyone was just like, oh my god, we miss you, where'd you go? And so this is where I'm at, Almit, YouTube, and stream live. So Sherry, all of you, everyone have a very beautiful night. You guys all get rest as well. And I want to thank you all again for joining me here live. Lots and lots of love to you all. And hey, don't forget, love, live, smile. This is IER Vibes, Info Entertainment Reviews. Thanks again, folks. I'll see you later on. Glad you enjoyed.